Governors. If you really want to know what it's like to be in the pupils' shoes, one borough has an interesting idea. I'm just not sure about this. Come on. Well, it's back to school, uniforms and all. Greenwich Borough is holding its second annual Back to School Day for governors. And as a governor myself for over 7 years, I've come along to see what I can learn from this initiative. This Saturday event, taking place at Plumstead School, is aimed at all the governors in the borough from both primary and secondary schools. And after filling in my Breakfast Club worksheet, I catch up with the Senior Assistant Director of Children's Services in Greenwich, Les Craggs.
The real unique selling points, if you like, of a day like today is that it is experiential learning. I mean, I think too often as adults we think that everything has to be intellectual, has to be sort of learned through listening to someone else or watching something else. And of course, one of the key messages in education is that everyone has unique learning styles. And today is very much about giving them real experiences. And they will learn a little bit about the curriculum by actually doing it rather than hearing about it. It's really good to see so many of you, and I hope you have an excellent day.
The day starts off with an assembly. Les goes into role as head teacher and poses a bit of a brain teaser about 3 farmers who want to buy a pig together.
How much did you pay for your part of the pig?
9.
How much did you pay? You paid 9 as well? And you paid?
9.
Right. Someone? 3 9s are? 7. Boy, put your hand in your pocket. What money have you got?
£2.
27 plus £2 equals? Who's lost £1? Thank you very much. I don't want an answer, sir. Go and sit down. Go and sit down. Thank you very much. Thank you. The fact of the matter is that's simply a classic piece of misdirection. But I do want to hold on to the point about that missed pound, which is throughout our lives we lose £1, we miss an opportunity, we fail to seriously make use of our talents. Were this a proper assembly, I would then convert this into a prayer, and I would ask us to bow our heads. I would ask us to reflect in terms of whatever form of worship we have about what that message conveys to us.
Simon says do that. Excellent. Simon says do that and that. Give me 2, give me 2. OK.
Right, in at the deep end. Next up on my school day is a workout with secondary PE teacher Mick Crow, who leaves no one unclear about the lesson objectives and aims.
Give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, and stop. Simon says stop. Simon says come back to the board for a moment, please. What was the first aim?
Listen to your teacher.
Right, now, if you were listening to me there and you were following the instructions, were you more successful? You were. So what I want you to do now, I want you to take that thought, take that aim, and listening to what the teacher's saying, so that when you're doing the other activities, if you listen to what I tell you, you are going to be more successful today. OK? Let's come in. Right, here's the rules. Your fingers must remain in contact with a stick at all times. OK. Right, if you all get in contact with a stick, everyone hold the stick. That's it. Ready? And you've got to place it on the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, stop, hold it there. Let me explain again. You have to put the stick on the floor. All right? On the floor. Right there. So what I'm going to do is this. What I'm going to do is this. That's a magic pen.
OK.
Edna is in charge of that pen. If you want to speak, you now have to ask Edna for the pen. So Edna, you're in charge. Off you go.
I think we need somebody who can talk, if we're allowed to speak at the same time as having our fingers on the thing. I think we need somebody who actually says, right, don't move your fingers up at all. Just and gradually move it down.
Some people are doing automatically. There's some automatic reaction that's happening that means it's going up.
I think obviously because we're all different heights, we're all going to be holding our fingers at different heights. That's why we're going all over the place.
What about if we have our fingers pointing downwards a bit?
Oh, that's a clever one.
Should we try that? Should we try that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
OK, let it drop. Fantastic, fantastic. Right, tell me what that feeling was like when you actually did it. You did, you did. You felt good. You felt good about yourself. It felt good to succeed. Putting a stick on the floor, I mean, but you felt good. Good team effort now.
Well, now we're all friends. Time for some fun. So I was quite good at this 20 years ago. But I think Mick could tell me how good I am now and how I can improve.
Good control. Can we come over to the board again, please? To get level 3, you have to control the ball. To get level 0.35, you have to do the same thing and change hands and change direction with the ball, keeping it under control. And level 4, all of the above, but in a game situation. What level are you?
Probably 3.
Probably 3. Why?
I think I can control the ball.
You can. So you are definitely level 3. You're not level at 3.5? What's 3.5?
Possibly, yeah.
What is it? What's level 3 for?
It's to be able to change hands and direction.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
Well, what level are you then?
3.5.
You're 3.5. Excellent. Of course you are. So what it's enabled a teacher to do is to point out where and how you've made progress. So you might want to move on to level 4. You know exactly how you're going to do it. Off you go.
The emphasis wasn't so much on who's the best, which is very different from certainly when I was at school. I don't know.
It's nice because there might be some people who are rubbish in a game situation or would take ages to improve, but you're still at a certain level because you can control the ball and change direction.
Keep playing. Go on, keep going.
I mean, when I was at school, it's like, oh, you missed, you missed. But this time it was, oh, OK, we'll try again. We'll do it better this time, and we know now what we've done wrong, and we're going to do it differently.
Yeah, 2-all. Right, defending team get the ball.
I leave my group battling it out for those levels for something a little less energetic. A science lesson led by primary teacher Gary Granger.
The whole point of primary science is that it is not just going to be about learning facts, but it's going to be about doing things and learning skills. Today we're going to do a very hands-on approach because that is what generally will make the most impact on pupils' learning. We're going to actually be making balloon buggies. So you're actually going to make something with your partner and you're going to enter a race.
Can we experiment?
You could experiment.
So take some bigger ones and some smaller ones just to see.
Certainly. Take a set of wheels to start with, test it with that, and then maybe try changing the wheels, certainly.
But I feel I ought to know whether the big ones or the small ones go.
That's the point. The point is that, and that's the good thing. If you knew, I'd suggest that I'd underset the challenge. The point is, if you already know the answer before you start, you're not going to be particularly motivated, are you?
What year is this?
This could be anything from probably a year 2, just making it for fun and funky, all the way up to year 6, when they're doing forces in action and actually looking at, well, how does the amount of air I put into the balloon affect how far the buggy goes? If I put twice as much air, does the buggy go twice as far? But we're doing it predominantly for the skills, for the thinking, for the predicting, then for the measuring, for trying to draw some sort of conclusion, and the SC1 type thing, the scientific inquiry.
As a governor myself, it's really interesting to see the shift in teaching towards acquiring transferable skills and to experience firsthand why pupils are learning in a particular way and how lessons are linked and build on each other.
OK, we're going to do them one at a time so that we don't have a huge collision. Oh, bless it. Oh, but at least you kept half your tank of gas, look.
Time for lunch and a chance to catch up with Linda Callaghan, Head of Governor Services in Greenwich, who organised the whole event.
Governor's training is usually in the evening. They're always twilight sessions, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's quite tough in the winter, etc., to come out on those evenings. And we thought we learn by actually doing. Wouldn't it be fantastic if governors could go back to school and actually sit in lessons and learn? They can actually do it in one day.
Well, I'm delighted because I've just taken over as chair of our curriculum committee and I'll be able to take a lot back from this.
Yes, come back to school next year.
Yeah, I will. Thanks.
All the governors attending the event today have a choice of lessons to go to. I want to get to as many as I can.
It opens your eyes to what the children are going through and difficulties that they might have.
Now we're going to have an adjective challenge and we're going to describe something. What we're going to describe.
We've been into the class today and putting ourselves into that position, you just get better in touch. We think, well, we make these decisions, but how are they actually viewing it?
It's
you've got pirates, fiendish, swarthy, desperate pirates. So that's quite interesting where you've got fiendish, swarthy and then...
It's a really different way of learning than when I was at school. I mean, being on the governing body, I'll be thinking differently about what they mean when they talk about children in a classroom.
Last lesson for me, music, led by music education consultant Chris Harrison, who helps us shake off any of our adult inhibitions and lets us go wild by conducting our very own xylophone orchestra.
Hey! Woo! It's great. So you've invented quite a lot of new signals and everybody's got the hang of it really well. Okay, lovely. Well done. Well done. I mean, there's real variety in there and pleasure on your faces too. What's nice about this often is just the amount of smiling that people do when they're engaged in it, you know, enjoyment of it. Okay, so we're going to learn a little chorus by ear, and it goes like this. That's it. Brilliant. First time. Well done. One more time. Brilliant. Okay. Working with children, I might at that point write it up on a blackboard or whiteboard, or for those that needed a visual support, we might sing it, you know, C, D, E, E, D, D, C.
What sort of recommendations do music teachers have to get students to start off on their own on other instruments like violin or flute or that sort of thing?
It's not at the moment part of the statutory curriculum. I mean, melodic skills like this is part of the statutory curriculum, but how you do it, I mean, you know, you can do it on these instruments, you can do it on a recorder, keyboards, whatever. So we can just remind ourselves of what it is. C, D, E, E, D, D, C, C, D, E, E, D, C.
How do you think it benefits governors actually coming in and taking part in a lesson?
I think it's tremendously useful, actually. It's different, isn't it? I mean, you see somebody do something, but actually doing it for yourself, you get that whole experience. But I think it's also important that the adults realise that they can be musical too, because that then affects their expectations of what they see in school. You know, if they've been to a session like this and they say, oh yes, I can do it. Well, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So why isn't everybody doing it? You know?
We can celebrate everybody's achievement. Thank you. However, we did say we'd have an element of it that was competitive, so I would like to invite to the racetrack Moira, Carol and Stefan.
I think the fun aspect of it, I must say, I don't remember it being as much fun when I was at school. Maybe the style of teaching has changed and the way that teachers interact with you has changed, but I enjoyed the experience, I really did.
I'd just like to add that I was actually on the winning team.